public facilities and improvements with Community Development Block Grant Funds, procurement for the project. Your project is now designed, and it is time to move on to construction procurement, a milestone that has great influence on a project's success. Procuring the contractor is typically the responsibility of the grantee. For activities that involve nonprofit-owned facilities, the nonprofit subrecipient usually conducts procurement. The overarching objective when selecting a contractor is to ensure that the contractor will complete a high-quality project within the budget, on time, and with minimal disruption to the surrounding community. The procurement process for all contractors should be geared toward delivering on a timely basis the best value product or service while maintaining the public's trust and fulfilling public policy objectives. In short, the grantee should assemble a team that is the most efficient, capable, and reasonably priced, using a transparent and competitive procurement process. Part of the purpose of a competitive procurement process is to demonstrate transparency. There are many layers of procurement rules, federal, state, and sometimes local rules, and grantees must follow all those applicable to their situation. In all cases, the stricter procurement regulations govern. Be sure to adhere to the law and maintain complete and accurate records of the procurement process. In this section, we will focus our discussion on procuring the construction team. While you will likely need to procure other team members, such as a project architect or engineer, for simplicity, we are focusing on securing the general construction contract, as it is the most complicated and arduous process. As a rule, grantees should be wary of low bidders who are incapable of completing or delivering a quality project. To the extent allowed by federal, state, and local procurement requirements, include provisions in your procurement process that will incorporate experience and qualifications in selecting the contractor. We have discussed why procurement is a critical component of your project. Now let's discuss how to procure a contractor for your project. The first step when procuring a contractor is to determine the procurement method and type of contract that is applicable to the project. There are several procurement methods, including sealed bid, competitive proposals, small purchase, and micro bids. The nature of the project and its expected cost determine the procurement method. Usually, a sealed bid is used for procuring construction contracts. A competitive proposal is used for professional services, and small purchase and micro bids are used for either specific goods or services below a certain dollar amount. That dollar amount may depend on state or local requirements. For a variety of reasons, projects sometimes fail to generate competitive bids. If a compelling reason exists to make a single-source award rather than rebid a project, grantees need to document it in the project file and provide a reasonable justification for a non-competitive procurement. It is advisable to discuss the situation with your state program or HUD field office staff in these cases. Beyond the method of procurement, grantees may also use different ways to structure compensation or the method of payment for a contract. These include a lump sum fixed-priced contract. The advantages of this type of contract include the job will be finished within stated cost and is therefore more predictable. The contractor gets paid the full amount and has an incentive to work efficiently. Some disadvantages of a lump sum fixed-price contract are: prices can be inflated. It's hard to estimate exact costs, and the contractor may add extra money to their bid to mitigate against errors or unknown conditions. This type of contract may also require greater oversight by the grantee to ensure that the contractor is not cutting corners. Two other types of contracts are a time and materials contract and a unit price contract. Grantees may use a time and materials contract only after a determination that no other contract is suitable for the project. Time and materials contracts can help keep costs manageable, though with these contracts, there is a disincentive for the contractor to work in a timely manner since he or she is being paid at a set hourly rate. To mitigate this risk, grantees must provide careful oversight during construction and include a ceiling price in the contract that the contractor exceeds at his or her own risk. The last type of contract we will discuss is a unit price contract. An advantage of a unit price contract is that it is based on estimated quantities of materials, so the grantee has a sense of the overall cost. However, the grantee is only charged for the actual amount of material used. These contracts are best suited to public works and road projects with repetitive and easily quantifiable tasks. A disadvantage is that quantity estimates can be unpredictable, which may result in fewer accomplishments than expected, especially if there is a limited budget for the project. Usually, grantees specify a cost ceiling within the contract to mitigate the chances of major cost overruns. When procuring for construction, a well-structured bid process will help ensure that you hire the best available contractors. For a successful bid process, consider the following. Are there particular things that every contractor should have? That is, what are the pre-qualification requirements? Will you hold pre-bid meetings? If so, will they be mandatory or optional? What is the schedule? Time the procurement to maximize your ability to work in the warmer months if winter weather is a concern in your area. You will want to ensure your bid documents are complete. In addition to specifying how you will determine an award, make sure to include all terms and conditions, technical specifications and drawings, bid bond requirements, basis for payment, CDBG rules and regulations, federal, state, or local licensing or certification requirements, disabled, minority, and women business enterprises and Section 3 requirements. Include all applicable federal and state prevailing wage rates and labor standards provisions, including the appropriate Davis-Bacon wages. To increase benefits to the community, when advertising the bid opportunity, ensure wide dissemination of the notice and that you are reaching disabled, minority, and women business enterprises and local contractors, including certified Section 3 contractors. Often, grantees will advertise in local newspapers, construction publications, state and local websites. Make sure to advertise far enough ahead of time so contractors have time to prepare their bids. Sometimes, adjustments to the bid materials are needed during the bid period. Be sure to check for any modifications to wage rates and issue clarifications and addenda as needed. Once bids have been opened, there are still several steps required to complete the contractor procurement process. You will need to check the completeness and accuracy of the bid. Ensure the bid's cost reasonableness by comparing to the architect's or engineer's estimate and other bids. Check references and contractor debarment status and document your procurement files. Ensure the contractor does not have any conflicts of interest. Select bid alternates in case there is an issue with a primary bid award. Issue a notice of award and solicit a contractor's acceptance of award. Execute a contract. Obtain bonds and insurance certificates. Approve the contractor's schedule. Notify public safety agencies, the community, and owners of adjacent properties that work will begin soon. Verify that the contractor has obtained the required permits, and issue the notice to proceed. This may sound like a lot to do, and it is. A well-organized and thorough checklist can help you stay on track and ensure you complete all tasks. Thanks for watching. To continue viewing, click the Construction How to Successfully Complete Your Project video below.